Assalamu alaikum. This is your brother Malcolm Flex TV family. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We in the building, man. What's going on with y'all? What's going on? Tap in, tune in. We live. How y'all doing? Who all we got in the chat room? We live. We in the building, and we going in tonight. We are going in. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We got a powerful show tonight. You know, we got a powerful show tonight. All praises is due to Allah. There are many who would like to go up and contend against the mighty, mighty nation of Islam. Peace to you, Brother Josh Mason. Who would like to contend with the mighty, mighty nation of Islam? So we're going to have a good show tonight. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Etosha. A great show tonight. So all those who want to continue to contend with the mighty, mighty nation of Islam, today we intend to show you our works. And we want to see your works. So tonight, in this episode of Malcolm Flex TV, we want to show you our works. And we want you to compare your works to our works. Okay? Because there are many doubters out here who wish to hinder the work of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Okay? So what we intend to do tonight is to show actual receipts. One thing that we are taught in the Nation of Islam as a spiritual group, to not do things to be seen of men and women. So that explains why some of you may have never seen us in action. That explains why some of you have never seen us in action. Seen us doing the actual work in the black community. Hold on one second. Woo, let's go. Let's get it. The vibration of my voice is carrying. All praise is due to Allah. Yes. So today, in this video, I want to call out the whole conscious community. I want you all to share this video because I got a message to the whole conscious community and the black YouTuber community. Okay? And I want to challenge you as a community, the black community as a whole, the conscious community. And we want to know your works within the black community. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Marquise. We want to know, we want to see your works. Because again, we don't do what we do in the Nation of Islam to be seen of men. But now, it is time to put the cards on the table. It's time to put the cards on the table. Quit bluffing. all you major black YouTubers in the black community. We want to see your work. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to go through some clips. I want to even go through some articles, okay? And do a little reading on the work that the mighty, mighty Nation of Islam is doing in the black community, you know? And I want to challenge you YouTubers to quit talking and do the work. Okay, for instance, I had somebody comment on one of my videos. And they asked the question, why haven't y'all spoke out against the 12 that were shot in Brownsville? Because all I hear is crickets coming from the Nation of Islam. So my response to this individual, I forget what their name was. Walaikum salam, Brother Daniel. My response to this individual was, why are you waiting on the Nation of Islam to do what you can do for yourself? I don't recall you being a son of ours. You know what I'm saying? I don't recall us being your dads. You know, expecting us to do what you can do yourself. I heard a YouTuber today said he was getting on everybody, and why isn't the Nation of Islam speaking on the Brownsville 12? Why we ain't there on the scene? But the question is, why aren't you there on the scene? That's the first question. The second question is, why is it when we do go on the scene, we are accused for only being there for the cameras just to be seen of men, okay? When we do go, and when we don't go, you say, where y'all at? Why y'all ain't there for this? Why y'all ain't there for that? Somebody answer that question. So it's either damned if we do, damned if we don't. So we do what we can when we can. Then the individual also said, oh, y'all was there in LA for the Nipsey Hussle situation, but because these individuals aren't famous and aren't celebrities, y'all not there. Okay, well, Mike Brown wasn't famous. He wasn't a celebrity. Trayvon Martin wasn't famous. He wasn't a celebrity. Freddie Gray wasn't famous. He wasn't a celebrity. And many other black men and women. Ezell Ford, he wasn't famous. He wasn't a celebrity. And many other black men and women throughout the country that we went secured. We went and secured their families. Okay? Secured the scenes, the candlelight vigils, the funerals. All people, see, you don't hear about those testimonies. Why? Because we don't do what we do to be seen of men. But I personally seen myself, the mothers and wives and sisters of the deceased fall in the minister's arms, fall in the student ministers, the representatives of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's arms, crying, weeping, asking and begging for help from the Nation of Islam, who are forever grateful. See, we've been doing what we've been doing long before there was a Nipsey Hussle. Long before there was a Ezell Ford, Freddie Gray, Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin. See, and a lot of you are just coming into the knowledge of who the Nation of Islam is. A lot of you have gone through life never even hearing about the Nation of Islam until you turned on YouTube. So let me remind you all that we are not YouTubers. We are soldiers in the cause of Allah. So I want to intend to show the works of the Nation of Islam led by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Is that all right, family? So I don't give a damn who you is. If you consider yourself pro-black, if you consider yourself in the conscious community, if you consider yourself a black YouTuber who is concerned about the black condition and that and your channel was educational, see, then I want to challenge you to not just sit your behind a laptop. We want to see the works that you are doing in your community. And if the people don't know who you are in your community, then you ain't doing the work. See, enough is enough. There's too many people who want to, there's too many spectators, commentators, instigators, and not enough liberators. I'm going to repeat that. It's too many spectators, commentators, investigators, and not enough liberators. It's too many, it's not enough liberators. See, we need to quit preaching and trying to argue religion, first and foremost, because we will never, ever agree upon religion. Okay? We will never agree upon spiritual systems and disciplines. We will never agree upon those things, but what is one thing that we all can agree on? This right here. The color of our skin, our blackness. You know what I'm saying? We can agree upon that. We can unite on that basis. See, let's quit having this intellectual masturbation sessions. Intellectual masturbation sessions. Because we can talk about religion, and we can talk about history and Kemet and Nuwapian, Hebrew Israelites, Islam, and all these various different practices. But how is that going to liberate black people as a whole? Because when you go out in the streets among black people, that is not the conversation. See, and many of our people are distracted. It's okay to do it on YouTube. That's fine to change the conversation and change the narrative, but that's not what it can only be about. That's not what it only can be about. See, many people who want to be investigators, who want to be spectators, commentators, but none of them want to be liberators. See, most of us are internet gangbanging. Most of us are religious gangbanging. See, you sit back and you criticize the Nation of Islam, but you're doing it behind a computer. See, I can see if you was in the streets doing the work and you had something to say. Then you can meet us in the streets and then we can deal with it like civilized individuals. As a matter of fact, we can work together if you in the streets, but I can't work with you if you ain't in the streets doing nothing. So I want to show some receipts. We gonna have a good time. This is gonna be a good session. I just want to go over some stuff. I'm gonna go over some videos right quick. I want to go over some videos and stuff. This is a video right here. Brothers in Los Angeles had the taste of soul. And let me say one thing. Let me say one thing. In LA, the LAPD know that there's a protocol when it comes to dealing with our people, black people in Los Angeles. And before they go and all out attacking our people, they go through the Nation of Islam first. And that's a fact. And we're going to deal with that in a second. But I just want to go over some stuff. So this is right here is this is my Facebook. Okay. This is my Facebook. So back in the day, we had what you call the dope busters. Here's a video. Maybe we can watch the video right quick.
Right here today, and we dope busters. I want to change these. I said, who we say we are? So hard dope.
These are the dope busters.
I said, powerful man.
The purpose of the dope busters was they was going throughout the projects, cleaning up the projects, and getting rid of all of the drug dealers, the pimps, the prostitutes. This is exactly what they was doing on the East Coast. This was their work. So the city hired the dope busters, family. The city hired the dope busters. The city hired them. And what the Jews did when they found out that the brothers was getting paid, because at first they was doing it for free. They was cleaning up the projects, but the city loved what the brothers was doing. And they started to pay the brothers to stay there and keep the place clean and civilized. But when the Jews found out that the Nation of Islam was getting paid by the city for securing those projects, they cut off the funding. Okay? Here's another link that a brother sent me, Brother Willie Muhammad. Shout out to Brother David Ali and Brother Willie Muhammad. This is an article titled Amid New Orleans Violence, Volunteers to Try to Keep the Peace. Okay, so we got brothers volunteering in the community trying to keep the peace. And here's another video with conflict resolution conflict resolution city highlight, Austin, Killeen, Texas, 10,000 fearless. See, I'm just showing y'all some of the stuff that we are doing in the black community.
We need 10,000 fearless men to go inside the black community and stand in between the guns of the gangs and then settle this with conflict resolution and bring peace in our own community.
The largest city here in Central Texas has seen a major drop in crime. Today, Killeen Police released new preliminary numbers from the department.
The preliminary numbers from 2018 released by Killeen Police Department show violent crimes and property crimes are down. Police are optimistic that
because
this
of the Nation of Islam
will continue. It's been 30 years since Killeen has seen these kind of numbers.
Greetings. Conflict resolution helped me. My conflict was more of a family situation, you know. And without conflict resolution, I would have lost, you know, the most important thing in my life, which is my daughter.
One of my children was being threatened with violence by a community member.
These are testimonies.
in the context of a strained marriage relationship, family, friends getting involved, and things moving in a negative direction. I reached out to our conflict resolution team, and they immediately took information that I had, contacted all parties involved.
I woke up one morning to some threats from a member of my local town who wasn't pleased with something I had said, something that had got taken out of context. My initial reaction was to handle things in a manner that I have been taught most of my life. But look, man, coming to today, man, to speak to y'all about the conflict resolution, man. Look, if you don't know what it is, man, you need to get in tune, man. Conflict resolution can be a solution that saves your life, man. I've seen it done.
2018 show a decrease in violent crime compared to 2017. 61% decrease in murders and a 54% decrease in robberies. Nonviolent crime, such as theft and burglaries, is also down.
Because of conflict resolution, I now have the best relationship with my daughter and the mother of her child, in whom the conflict was behind. I thank student minister Brother Robert Muhammad of Muhammad Mosque 64, for intervening in my conflict, as well as I thank Brother Tabarak Muhammad for intervening as well.
The mediation was conducted in a way where everybody was heard. The information that needed to be shared
a
was
lot
shared,
more too.
And all parties understood where everybody stood, and they understood where their community stood, and that was on the side of no violence. And so the resolution was successful.
Personally, I know hands-on how well the program works back in 2007.
So let me let me tell you, brothers and sisters, that y'all don't have to necessarily wait on the Nation of Islam, okay, to go out here and do some form of conflict resolution. Okay, we just do ours, and it's called the 10,000 Fearless. But you ain't gotta wait on the Nation of Islam to do your part of community service. But hold on, we got some more. But that they showed you in Killeen and Austin how the crime rate went down, and in LA with the peace rise led by student minister Abdul Malik, formerly known as student minister Tony Muhammad. The crime rate decreased rapidly because of the peace rides, about 51% during the peace rides. And they declined when we did the hood, with the Game and Snoop Dogg and all of them. So here's another one, Peacekeepers news story.
An anti-violence group calls for men in the community to join the effort at curbing violence. The peacekeepers, who formed to work as mediators and high crime spots in the city, want people involved in their initiatives.
As Evan Anderson reports, the group has already prevented situations that it says could have turned deadly.
But he was in his back parking lot area. And the guys were driving. Yeah.
Darren McCall, a social worker at this Broad Street Learning Center, was on his way to work one morning when he noticed something wasn't right.
I saw that he was troubled. He was having some trouble or sort of stressing over some things. And I just kind of asked him what was going on, and we got to talking.
He says one of his students felt threatened by two other young men driving by in their cars.
He was kind of hanging out here in the corner, and there were some other guys that were passing back and forth, and he kind of thought that they may be trying to harm him in some kind of way, maybe shoot him or do some other things. So he expressed to me the intention to go get a gun or some sort of weapon out of his car so then he could retaliate against them.
But McCall quickly intervened. He went and got one of his co-workers, a member of Peacekeepers.
And he came down and talked to him, and then we went and talked to the other guys and kind of brought them together. And I think it was the best sort of resolution at the end of the conversation that we had. The guys that he thought were looking at him weren't even looking at him. they were trying to look at some girls or trying to look at somebody
look,
else. So they were looking for somebody else or something.
Since 2009, peacekeepers has been targeting New Orleans neighborhoods designated as crime hotspots, seeking to connect at-risk youth with badly needed services.
I'm happy to say we got 19 chapters now. We're in 19 cities. We have a chapter over in United Kingdom, over in London, England, in the town of Brixton.
Peacekeepers founder Dennis Muhammad says over 3,000 men are now on the streets trying to mediate violent crime. In 2011, the group started what they call a Squash the Beef hotline, which allows individuals who have a conflict to come to a private meeting and work towards a resolution.
It's a human initiative. Every human being wants peace, and we found it is the most greatest common bond that draws us all together.
McCall, a supporter of the group, hopes it helps.
Now, that's Captain Dennis. Now, he said this is a human initiative. So this means that everybody has to put their hand on the plow. They have to put their hand on the plow. That means that you don't sit back and wait. You wait for the Nation of Islam to do all the work. Sit back, and then when we go and do the work, you want to criticize how we did the work. So you automatically disqualify yourself, okay, when you don't even participate and help in doing the work. Okay, and we have mentoring programs where brothers go out and we mentor the youth. Okay, and the downtrodden. We have mentoring programs. Okay, we have a Squash the Beef hotline working to prevent violence in Killeen, Texas, and Austin. Okay, you can go and find lectures. Shout out to Brother Robert L. Muhammad and shout out to Brother Corey Johnson. Okay, Minister Farrakhan went and educated the gangs in Newark. Okay, you can find these on YouTube. The minister spoke at the 1993 Gang Summit, speaking to the gangs, and you asking, we're the Nation of Islam. We showing you what we are doing. The minister teaches the conspiracy of the government trying to kill the youth and the gangs with violence and drugs. Okay? The minister has a Black Latino gang summit trying to squash the beef between the Black and Latinos. These videos you can find on YouTube. I'm going to show some more videos, but I'm just going through these because Brother Corey Johnson sent me a lot of information, a lot of material. Okay, you got Big U getting 56 years in prison for, I'll let him explain it.
So at what point do you actually do your longest bid?
From 1991 to 2004.
Okay, because you originally got 23 years?
Originally since 56 years.
56 years.
They was only able to sentence me to 23.
And you ended up doing 13?
Ended up doing 13.
So what did you get 56 years for?
For nothing. They said it was possessive of sales. It was robbery. Because what I used to do was I would come with a bag. And when I come with the bag, when they came with the bag, we would take the bag. So basically that's what it was. They never came with no drugs. And when it was an undercover police officer, we would set up and ended up with a robbery, kidnap, and assault because they said that I had assaulted the police officer or something, you know what I mean? And they called kidnapped by moving him for any amount of feet. So, and they ended up getting dropped down to whatever have you. But.
Well, you're how old at the time? In 91?
22, 22, 23.
You were a 23-year-old being told that you're going to get 56 years in prison. You were going to get out at 78.
When they fly in cars.
How does a 22-year-old really work that out in their head that they're not going to get out until they're an old man?
This is two parts of that, because so many in South Central LA and we live in the streets. It's kind of like that's what you know what you're signing up for.
Okay.
It ain't no way out of it because you chose this.
Well, and you sort of know that it's coming.
You know it's coming eventually. Yeah. I was one of them cats that knew I was eventually gonna do some time.
Okay.
I mean, I knew I was moving, but when I got the time, my mentality was different.
But why don't you explain why he got the time?
Cut my hair off. I'd already changed. I was on some different. I was not totally different, but my relationship to my people was different, and it was growing. I was studying Islam, but I really didn't have no visible means of maintaining the lifestyle I had set for myself. You know what I mean? I had started dealing with Jim Brown, Minister Farrakhan. They actually said that in my sentencing transcripts, that the reason why they was giving me the max time was because I was taking Crips to meet Minister Farrakhan. And that was one of my aggravating circumstances.
They gave you time for bringing people to meet Farrakhan?
You have mitigating circumstances, aggravating circumstances when you get sentenced after you're found guilty. The district attorney submits to aggravating. And your attorney for your side submits to mitigating circumstances on why the judge should give you the max time and why the judge should give you the least amount of time. One of the aggravating circumstances submitted by the district attorney and the FBI, who was following us at the time, was that I was taking gang members to meet Minister Farrakhan and introducing them to Islam.
Which isn't illegal.
But it was to them.
It was frowned upon.
It was in my. I'm telling you, it's in my transcript. If you pull my sentencing transcript, you will see it.
That's crazy.
So this is a well-known Crip from rolling 60s getting time for taking brothers and sisters to go and meet the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Okay. Farrakhan meets the Chicago street leaders and artists. When they say, well, what type of work is he doing in Chicago? Well, he met with the street leaders and artists in Chicago. He then went all throughout Chicago, meeting with the gangs. Little Herb being another one for putting down the guns as a result of meeting the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Okay, Minister Farrakhan met with Chirac gang members named Demon and Grim Reaper. He met with a dude named K-Camp from Chicago. Lil Durk. Okay. My son reflects on organizing justice or else with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Okay, so the minister is able to reach out and touch the youth within our community because he knows that the elders aren't the ones that's really out here that's going to be doing this work now. So the minister is connected to the youth. Okay, he's connected to the youth. Let's hear what my son has to say.
So last week you were at the Million Man March. Can you describe what that was like for you?
It was surreal. It was such a humbling experience. being a part of the organizing committee for the Million Man March, you know, I got to see it playing from the name. You know, I sat at the table with the minister when he came up with the name. We sat, and there was just about 10 of us at a table. And he said, "What are we gonna call a march?" And he just said, "Justice or else." You know, and then seeing it, that name transform into hundreds of thousands of people in one place, unified for one goal, for one purpose. You know, that was just, it was a beautiful thing.
Okay. Did you attend the previous Million Man March in '95?
I was not present at the Million Man March. I don't know why. Maybe I wasn't enlightened enough. I didn't even realize it was going on.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And how would you say, like, your thought process has changed since then? Obviously, you're a big part of it this year. And, you know, you didn't get a chance to make it then. What were some of the differences?
I don't really know if it was much difference. I think people here got the same. There's the feeling that they described from the first march is the feeling that I got here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just felt like you realize that there was so many more people like you in the world. You know, you don't when you in your own area, in your own town or whatever, everybody's doing different things, and you have a couple of friends that's like-minded. But when you go to a situation like that and you see a bunch of people who are on the same accord you on, who have the same mental wave and the same goal, and you know, and realizing that you're not alone, that's a beautiful feeling.
You also had an opportunity.
So what kind of individuals don't want to feel that same feeling, that experience all the time? Why don't we want that all the time? Why we can't have the continuous spirit of the Million Man March live through us on an everyday basis? And the reason being is because many of these so-called people in the conscious community, so-called conscious community people, pro-black people, black YouTubers, did not attend the Million Man March in '95 and in 2015. They didn't attend neither Million Man Marches. So they don't really understand the power and the need for our unity. See, the people who were there can appreciate black love, black unity, and will fight to achieve that and live that. We will do whatever we have to do and exhaust all of our time, energy, and resources to have that moment forever. But we have people in the community working against that. We got people in the community working against that. Minister Farrakhan squashes the rap beef. Several rap beefs. The most notable was the East Coast, West Coast beef.
Can you tell me about taking Fat Joe to meet the Honorable Louis Farrakhan?
Yes, it's probably '94. The minister called for a rap summit. At that time, hip hop was in a state of flux. You know, with East Coast, West Coast beef. And so the minister asked for all of the rappers to come. And of course, being in the rap scene at that time, I had access to artists.
Right.
So I was able to bring Fat Joe to minister's house. In fact, Fat Joe would never fly. So he said, brother, I'm going to drive. I'm going to leave a day early and I'm going to drive. And it was important because at the time he had a beef with Ice Cube. And he objected to Ice Cube making a song. Hip hop started in the West. I think it was him, WC had made this record together.
Oh, the West Side Connection.
Yeah, the West Side Connection. And
So there was this little beef because remember the West Coast felt some type of way because only the DJs embraced East Coast hip hop, and they didn't feel relevant and respected by East Coast artists because the East Coast epitomized hip hop. And this is actually how Down South felt, that they started, that they actually are running the rap industry for the last 12, 15, damn near 20 years. But the West Coast had a chip on their shoulder. Right. And so they made that record in reference. So there was feelings that East Coast artists had, especially when the East Coast held down Ice Cube. Ice Cube, when he left NWA, right, and they were feeling salty in that NWA camp, he came to New York, got love from Hank Shockley. Remember that song that he made, Burn Hollywood Burn, with NWA? I mean, he was the only rapper that rocked the Apollo with Jerry curls, in his early days of leaving NWA. And so not only was that beef resolved, there was a beef between Common and Cube had a beef. They came together, settled their beef. Snoop Dogg was there. It was a beautiful thing. It was the first of two that I attended, and that was a blessing to see the minister work and to see his influence. So there you had 5%ers, you had gangbangers, you had Christians, you had people from the street that didn't have any affiliation religious at all, or any particular philosophical persuasion, and you just had people who loved hip hop, and the minister gave us some guidance there, and it was a beautiful day.
Once upon a time, Cam and Ice Cube had beef. Was the minister involved in squashing that beef as well?
I'm not sure if he did it at that particular, because I remember there were two that we went to. I'm not sure if he had did it then, but I know it was addressed.
So there's been a lot of East Coast, West Coast beef. Do you think that was media influence or was it real?
I think that one of the things that hip hop breeds is competition. And so there's always competition. So there was competition.
So let me say something. See, in the midst of the Tupac Biggie situation, see, the media took the Tupac and Biggie situation and made it an East Coast, West Coast situation. They made it an East Coast versus West Coast thing. West Coast versus East Coast. Okay? And then we lost Tupac and we lost Biggie Smalls. Okay? And you had two coasts of black people going at it. See, this was bigger than just Crips and Bloods. Vice Lords versus GDs. You had two whole coasts at odds with one another. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam stepped in the middle of a storm and weathered the storm with the power and the word that was put in the mouth of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan by Almighty God Allah, that he was able to render peace and promote peace and between both coasts of black people. But this is something that is never ever talked about. When people ask, what has the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan done for the black community? Countless times, the minister has saved black people from all-out war and genocide. But he don't get enough credit, though. He don't get enough credit. That's why we going over the receipts today. That's why we going over the receipts today. Minister went visit King Louis after he was shot 7 times and was almost killed in Chicago. Okay? We got the Hip Hop Summit. What else we got before I start playing some more videos? Okay, I mean, we can take it all the way back to the 60s and 70s. The minister was doing his work. I'm going to show you how long the minister has been doing his work. We gonna go vintage Farrakhan on y'all.
Are you still using Google? I have something to show you. Ecosia is a search engine just like Google.
We gonna go vintage Farrakhan on y'all.
Because these brothers, you can't hook them on no foolishness called religion that got them looking in the sky.
Come on.
These brothers refuse to look in the sky for
Who
anything.
dressing and looking
So
like
these
this
are the
nowadays?
brothers, fearless young brother that's giving the white man trouble. So the only way he can stop the brother is to send drugs in the community to kill this youth before it can ever flower and blossom. But among these brothers right here is a great black general. Among them right now are scientists. Among these brothers right now are those that can fashion a world, but they don't know it, and the people will never see it until the mud is removed. And this is what Muhammad did for us. Most of us, a lot of us in the mosque, we were in the same condition yesterday. But Mr. Muhammad took us and cleaned us up. Why should we get our own food, brother? Because you know that the white man got all these stores. And since he don't love us, he sells us the worst meat for the highest prices. Right. He sells us the worst vegetables. He sells us poison meat. So if we're gonna live a long time, and brother, this is the only life we got. We want to look to each other. See, you are the beautiful one. Not me, not us, but it's you, the people. See, because we come around here and the television cameras are on us, we're not the big shot. The people is the big shot. So we got to learn that this little life has but a short time to live. So if I can live this life to serve you and to serve you and to serve you, then that makes my life valuable. But there is no value to me if I don't serve you and help you. You understand? That's the way we're supposed to live. Right.
So all of you YouTube people, you black YouTubers, how many of you are doing what the minister is doing in this video? How many of you are going out speaking to black people who are suffering from poverty and want? Okay? On a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. How many videos do you post on a monthly basis showing you in the community doing this, what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is doing right here? We want to know. You want to come up against the mighty, mighty nation of Islam. We want to see your works. We don't give a damn about your theology. We don't give a damn about what religion you believe in. We don't give a damn how many languages you speak. We don't give a damn how many subscribers you have, how many viewers you get. We don't care. We don't care how much monetization money you get. We don't care about any of that. How many people are you touching on a day-to-day, a weekly, a monthly basis?
Allah bless you, brother. Together. Look at this young, strong black brotherhood. How you doing, sister? How you doing, brother?
Hold on, because my brother's in the building. Shout out to brother Ben X. Let me talk about this brother. Okay, see, this brother he's not a YouTuber. Okay, this brother, you can see it on his Instagram, you can see it on his Facebook, you can see it on his YouTube channel. The brother has his own app. The brother has his own Black on Demand. Okay, the brother is posting flyers because he's making appearances and premiering in live events. I'm not talking about on YouTube. People are flying him out to speak to the youth, speak to their community. Him and brother Reza Islam. They are flying. These brothers is traveling all over the country, speaking to the youth, speaking to the downtrodden, those who are in poverty, speaking to those who are incarcerated. See, you're not dealing with YouTubers, YouTube scholars. You are dealing with Muslim members soldiers who are in the Nation of Islam, who have dedicated their lives, their time, energy, money, and resources to come out here and save our people. So you want to go up against the mighty, mighty Nation of Islam, huh? Well, we want to see your works. We want to see your works. See, a lot of you know that you can't contend with our works. I heard a brother say, I'm not going to say his name on my platform, but I heard a brother say, well, I know the Nation of Islam, y'all got a whole lot of works, but it ain't about that. We want to talk about your theology because we know that you can't prove this aspect of your theology. Well, it don't even matter. Our theology is our theology. What we believe is what we believe. If we believe in the tribe of Shabazz and we have a bigger turnout than you, we have more converts than you, we have more members than you, we are touching more lives on a day-to-day basis than you, then having a theological discussion is really irrelevant to what's going to the bigger scheme of things. It's really irrelevant. You got Minister Farrakhan speaking to over 900 gang leaders. Okay, this is the minister's word. Then you got our brother student minister Abdul Malik. Everybody say, well, why the Nation of Islam show up to Nipsey Hussle? Is it because he's a celebrity, he's famous, and all the cameras is out? Well, let's hear from Nipsey Hussle himself. Sister Etosha on it. She knew exactly who I was talking about. But I ain't saying no names though.
Hey, stop. Before you watch your next YouTube video, listen, let me ask you. Do you want to learn how to generate an income online using a proven business model that I've been using?
I just looked in the audience, I seen, mention Tony Muhammad. And I remember, a year back, one of our close friends in our area got killed, and he came on 10th Avenue. And, the police actually let the young man, they put a cover on his face, and the cover was going up and down. So it was people that knew the young dude that was telling the ambulance he's still breathing, he's still alive. And they just sat there and let him, expire on the scene. And, Tony Muhammad showed up and represented our community. And he stood up, and he ended up having an altercation with the LAPD, with our area, and myself specifically always respected you for that.
So, I don't know if y'all was able to hear the brother, but what brother Nipsey was explaining was that back in the day, there was a brother from his hood, from Rolling 60s, that was murdered. I knew the brother personally. The brother name was S-Dome, a.k.a. his real name was Nam, but his hood name was S-Dome. I knew the brother personally. I used to look up to the brother. And he was gunned down in his community. And there was public outrage because, he was shot in the head, but he was still breathing, and the paramedics put a white sheet over the brother's head. So there was outrage from the friends and the family that the paramedics did that. So when the Muslims showed up, this is before I joined the nation. I heard about it though. When the Muslims showed up, there was an altercation between our student minister and the LAPD because the LAPD attacked our student minister because they didn't know he was our student minister. And our minister had, at the time, the chief of police, Bernard Parks, on the phone, okay? And Bernard Parks told the minister to get his badge number and his name. So when the student minister went to ask him for his badge number and his name, that's when they attacked us. And the Nation of Islam was having a physical altercation with the LAPD for all those who say that we have never, we only beat up our own people, okay? So Nipsey was one of those individuals that was there, one of those youngsters that was there to bear witness that the Nation of Islam was fighting the police on behalf of our people. And they was actually helping the nation because they was throwing rocks and bricks at the police. So ever since then, that was the first experience and encounter that Nipsey Hussle had with the Nation of Islam. And later on down the line, Nipsey developed a relationship with our student minister's son, Brother Khaled, okay, and they was doing music together. And Nipsey told our student minister that he had songs with his son. Okay, this is how Nipsey developed a relationship with the Nation of Islam. So Brother Reza, when he said he was doing security for Nipsey, he's not lying. I was there. Okay, and I was helping with the security. Okay, at an event in Beverly Hills that Nipsey threw with Carl Kanai. Okay, so this is a fact. That's when I met Nipsey Hussle. And I had a chance to speak to Brother Nipsey. And you know what I mean? Met his brother Black Sam at the Marathon Clothing Store. He gave me a $20 donation for the Final Call newspaper. So, you know, everything that we saying is verifiable. We ain't lying. Okay? Another thing. We want to know, to the naysayers, to the critics, to the commentators, spectators, and investigators who refuse to be liberators, where is your prison reform? The Nation of Islam has a prison reform where we go out and we speak to inmates in prison, inspiring them. Hold on, let me play a video. We want to know, where's your prison reform at?
Now, brothers, we all got somebody we can blame. We can start, yeah, my mom, my dad wasn't there, my cousin led me, the teacher didn't like me, my coach didn't like. See, excuses, you need to lay them to the side because there is no enemy against you worse than you. And if you got your foot out of your way and return to your Creator, there is no power in the heaven above or in the earth beneath that can stop you from being what you determine.
How many of y'all going out speaking to the inmates?
When I was in Cook County and I went and I did my time, I came out, they wouldn't give me a job. They always told me, well, you a felon, and I can't use a felon. Question, can you use yourself? Yes, sir. Now listen to me. They don't have jobs today. You got to make a job for yourself. I was in Mexico recently. Are there any of my Mexican family here? Raise your hands high, please. I just want to see you. I was in Mexico, and I was driving, or being driven, through Little Town. It's out from Cuernavaca in Morelos, and everywhere I went, the Mexican brother and sister were not looking for somebody to give them a job. The families had their shops. Yes, sir. You go through the town, you see them supplying themselves with what they need and selling the surplus to others. So when the bosses up here visit Mexico and they see how hard the Mexicans work, they see white Americans in the unions. They have to get paid union scale. The owners of factories say, well, we are not making money if we hire union workers. So let's bring the Latino family from Central and South America up here. They call them illegal aliens, but the people that brought them knew. They brought them here to work at a cheaper price, but what they have, you don't have. The Mexican, and these are your brothers. Brother, you never even saw him as your brother. Well, you don't see yourself as a brother, so you can't see nobody else as that. But the Mexican comes here. He has unity. You don't have it. He has a sense of family. You don't have it. He brings the family here. They all in a room together. You can't stand one another, so you can't be in a cell together, much less a house together.
Listen.
But here, your Mexican brother, he comes, they go to work, they make their money, they pool their resources. The next thing you know, they move out of that into a house. They set up businesses in their community, in our community. And they keep on building, building, building. And we keep going further and further behind. The enemy wants to make us think that we are natural enemies.
Come on, talking about the black and brown. Come on.
When we are natural brothers.
That's right.
Of each other.
That's right.
You can learn from them, and they can learn from us. Do you know that the Olmecs who started civilization in Mexico were black?
Come on, he teaching.
Did you know that before Columbus came this way, that black folk were already in the Western Hemisphere? And if you look at those heads down in Mexico of their black heads.
So family, you all can find more of this on YouTube, but I'm trying to highlight to the viewers that the minister is going into the prison because when you understand the way the prisons work, that you got different cards. You got the black card, you got the Mexican card, you got the white card, and you got the others. Many times the others roll with the blacks, but a lot of times you got the blacks warn against the Mexicans and the whites. A lot of the time the Mexicans roll with the whites sometimes because some of them think they white. Okay, but what the minister is trying to do is trying to unite the black and Mexican cards and to get them to realize that they are really brothers and unite on the basis that these are two original peoples. These peoples are part of the original families. See, and the minister have other ministers, the prison ministers who go in and out of the prisons to teach and try to reform the brothers and sisters who are in prison. So let's not forget the peace rides that we are doing in LA and in Texas. So here's our student minister Abdul Malik. He's one of the founders of the peace rides in LA. Let me play a clip of this brother.
Hey, you two. So we've been waiting all day to meet with Minister Tony. He is the wonderful man who put this entire event together and brought everybody here to LA. So Minister Tony, I just wanted to ask you, what made you bring this together? And then how do you feel like, what do you feel like people can do to stop the violence in the community? Because it's not just LA, but it's Chicago, it's Minneapolis, it's all over the country.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first of all, it's the spirit of the Million Man March that Minister Farrakhan had us to do 19 years ago. 2 years ago, Minister Farrakhan asked the brothers to take back to the streets. And when we did it, the streets responded in such a beautiful way that we didn't stop. We started walking. And then one day, bikers passed by me, and they saw what we were doing, and I went to ask them for help. And boy, when I went, the bikers said, we want to do this with you. We started off with 60 bikers. 7 months later, it was over 1,000 bikers.
Look, this is what we do. We just did one Sunday.
250 Corvettes, and now it's grown to what we have here.
And that's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
I think people are tired of the violence.
Oh, yeah.
It's too much.
And they're just waiting on a movement.
Right.
In the 60s, we had civil rights movement. We had the Black Power movement. Now we need a peace movement to get us to stop doing the damage to us. And that's why we're doing this, to honor the mothers who've lost their children to gang violence.
And have you yourself been affected by gang violence in the neighborhood, things like that, family members?
I haven't had a personal family member, but many of the members of my mosque have lost members to gang violence.
And I'm one of them.
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you think makes kids turn to gangs? Because you would think it's 2014, it's all. Do you think it's the music, the movies? They just think it's cool. You would think would die down after a while, but it seems like it's, coming back.
Yes. Well, it's a combination of all of those things. And when school is not working, and now through social media, through the music is helping to guide our children into chaos because they're glorifying the worst part of our community.
Right.
And so therefore, it seems as if Hollywood, the entertainment business, they are rewarding low stats. They're rewarding brothers who rap about B's and H's. They're rewarding brothers who shoot one another. So yes, that's happened. This is why we have to step out and show them that
this is
another
why we
way.
ride.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. This event is a blessing. This is my first time here.
So, family, the peace rides is a thing that we are doing in Los Angeles and Texas, and I believe it's going to Philly as well. And what we have at the peace rides, we got low riders, we got lowrider clubs, we got Corvette clubs, we got motorcycle clubs, and Cadillac clubs. We got and everybody who just want to ride for peace, okay? And because of the peace rides, the violence in Los Angeles went down 51%. It went down 51%, inspired by our student minister Abdul Malik, by way of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, inspiration of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Here's a video with the brothers, the Fruit of Islam, in Compton, California, cleaning up a prostitution ring, led by our student minister Robert Muhammad in Compton, California. It's a prostitution ring, and the brothers is in Compton, and they're cleaning out the spot.
Up here.
Y'all want to know where the Nation of Islam is at, right?
Ain't saying nothing. Nobody else say nothing.
Y'all want to know where we at, right? We cleaning up the community.
I'm telling you, listen.
Tell him to come up here.
That y'all gonna stop pimping these girls in these rooms. Are you listening to me? You understand what I'm telling you, right?
You do not understand.
Okay, well, who understands? You niggas.
You understand?
Okay.
Can you translate?
What I'm saying to you is, these girls are being pimped in these rooms.
I don't listen. These girls walk through the street.
No, sir, brother. We got friends. We been over here. I talked to some.
You're right.
Yes, we talk, and women use this room. So don't tell me that they don't use this room. They use it. Okay. Well, I'm talking to everybody because if Sonny ain't here, she got to sell in the room. Miss Murphy, brother. I don't matter if she don't understand. If she understands enough to get that $1 million, don't she? Sir. Yeah, we gonna deal with the whole hookup. Because if y'all don't do it, then we shut it down. We shut it down. And it's a shame, man, when you got a brother that don't want to stand with his own brother. That's how we always lose the fight, because we always got one that's on the outside of the other. So I don't want to hear nothing about she don't understand. She understands. We telling her, man, don't put nobody else over in here.
She understand when they come get her wrong.
Damn right she understands.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be no more problems. It's gonna be a problem. Thank y'all, brother.
Salam alaikum.
We're going right back.
Listen. See, many of y'all are standing on the wrong side of history. Many of you are standing on the wrong side of history. Instead of crying and complaining, instead of criticizing and judging, you need to help the Nation of Islam. Instead of trying to go up against the mighty Nation of Islam, you need to be helping us. Okay, you need to be helping us. We need your help. Don't sit back and say, when something bad happens in the community, now you want to speak out against the Nation of Islam. You feel like it's your turn to speak out instead of getting up doing something about it. Don't sit up and wait for the nation to do it. You get up and do it. Instead of thinking that speaking out against the nation to try to inspire us to do something because you speaking out, that don't mean nothing. If you a man like I'm a man, and you practice righteousness just like I practice righteousness, then you will be inclined and compelled to do what is right in your community. You don't need to wait for the Nation of Islam to get up and go do something when you can do it yourself. When you can find some good men around you and go do what you gotta do. In the Nation of Islam, we got the 10,000 Fearless. We got a headquarters. All praises due to Allah. Thank you, brother Josh Mason, for that donation. But we have a headquarters in Atlanta. We got one in Arizona. We working on one in LA. But hold on, let me click the link because I want y'all to see this. This is what we working on trying to build. But we need your help.
In the community, when it's a problem, like when a person.
It's 10,000 Fearless family in Atlanta. Beautiful house.
Cause we don't need no trouble. What we need is love to guide and protect us all.
He teaches self-defense.
How can we give you a stroke now?
We got a community patrol.
We don't need no trouble. I was gonna be number one. That's my first song.
They cleaned up this whole block.
I started looking for a place, so that's when I came to the
That's Flatbush, Georgia.
Phillies needed a headquarters. Yeah. We feed at least 150 to 200 every Tuesday and Thursday. We feed them here, and the people over here are so appreciative. Mm-hmm. And we give Coach Wade, Reverend McDonald, as the chairman of the LOC. I'm the co-chair. He came over about a couple of months ago. We gave out 150 coats.
My name is Sister Lavonia Mars. We're 10,000 fearless men and women. I'm beginning to be one of the 10,000. And 1 fearless lady. Brother Minister Sharif do have good disciples. I'm getting a little emotional right now.
It's all right.
Okay?
It's all
When
right.
they're not feeding, we're distributing out food. Like I said, I have a tasty meal here now. Take care, okay, bro? You know, I'm getting emotional.
That's all right.
It's a good program.
Yeah.
It's a good program.
Yes.
I don't know, Miller.
It's all right. It's all right. That's all right.
I don't know, Miller. America taught Brother Sharif the right path and the right road to go, but he's smarter.
Praise
He's
be to
wrong.
Allah.
And I'm
Yes,
going to
sir.
give nothing up for the 10,000
Yes, sir.
women.
This is the word.
People United for Change, we're giving out, in the 10,000 Fearless, we're giving out the food to the community. We got some chicken, some rice, and some string beans. We had an excellent day.
This is for
We got
free.
more to come.
Remember, first I called
You
him
ain't
Master
asking for
Church
nothing.
under Reverend Timothy McDonald III, and he asked us to come over and volunteer when we can.
Well, I love it to death. I'm the one that told these people how they were doing down through here. Because I come from the blood. My name is Brother. And God bless you.
Sister Asila, Assalamu alaikum. Today we fed about 80 people. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday, so come down and lend a hand if you're not busy on Tuesday and Thursday.
Working with the community for the 10,000 Fearless, I think it's a beautiful thing. We all should do something to help.
My name is Alicia Muhammad. I'm the Assistant Director of People United for Change. We're happy to announce that we will be extending our food pantry, which will be located in DeKalb County. We will also be setting up again in Muhammad Mosque 15. The days that we will be serving those areas is on Friday for Muhammad Mosque 15 and in DeKalb County on Wednesday.
So this is what we're doing, clean up the neighborhood, making it a decent place to live, assisting Brother Sharif, and help make it Minister Farrakhan word bond. 10,000 Fearless. And one of the rappers, manager,
Conflict Resolution Center.
and they prayed with him. They intervened in his life with the Spirit of God. And they continue working with your brother. He's doing well. This is our doctors and nurses room. They use it right here. This is the room we here for the doctor who's here today. This is the room they use right here. That's our 24-hour food bank right there. Feed the needs of the community 24 hours. Nice. We have a veteran program. The veteran program is a passion of Brother Sharif. And we have another gentleman, his name is Tim Duncan. He's ambassador to our veterans. Some of our people in the community they need to be able to receive the benefits, you know what I mean? And all the things they need to do right now, that's what we're working on. We made a deal to be able to get you your benefits, and we'll facilitate to introduce you and take you to the intake at the Veteran Hospital. And we have a 24-hour food bank that we feed. We have a counseling program, conflict resolution room, beef in the community that we have. We have also the after-school program. We customize and fit the needs of the children, whatever needs they different have and things like that. We got the patrolling, Brother Vontae got the patrolling. And the Thursday night class is taught by Minister Sharif. But we teaching everybody the proper handling of people, and that's what Minister Farrakhan said.
Man, look, y'all better represent for y'all nation. All those in the chat room, y'all better represent for y'all nation. Y'all better share this stuff and represent for y'all nation. Y'all nation is popping. And how dare any of you try to beat up on the Nation of Islam? You want to try to beat up on the Nation of Islam after you see this type of work that we doing in the community? Are you serious? Are you serious? What we have here? Let me see what we got right here.
We could be in 10 years almost extinct. The enemy is working night and day to destroy us as a people.
This is Houston right here.
He can go out, we can go out.
That's right.
Let's go. Take a trip. South side, north side. Yo.
It ain't on the white man no more. It's on us. The white man has dumped you. Now get up and let's do something to help ourselves or go down to destruction, and it will be exactly what we deserve.
Short little clip. Short little clip. Brothers out there in Houston doing the work. All praises due to Allah. Okay. This Dr. Wesley right here. Let's see what brother got to say.
After the celebration of his life, Ground Zero was packed. Thousands.
That look like LA right there.
And it did start to get out of hand. LAPD was poised to do what they do in terms of riot control. Our Brother Fontaine Muhammad, general manager of the Final Call, who was on the ground there and had been on the ground. He was the point that got 150,000 copies of the Final Call honoring Nipsey Hussle in the hands of our people there. There was a bomb in the breast of our mourning people, our grieving people there. That Final Call with Nipsey on the cover touched our people in LA in such a way it helped to calm the grief, so there was no explosions. No, this is what we're hearing on the street. And our brother Fontaine Muhammad led that detail to gift the city of Los Angeles with this mighty paper. But on the night of his funeral, our brother Fontaine Muhammad and the fruit were on the ground, but things were starting to go there, and the LAPD was poised to go there. And our brother, see, this needs to go out in mass media. Our brother Fontaine, seeing a powder keg maybe about to blow, and the LAPD poised maybe to do what they do. Brother Fontaine called the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan and Big Boss, as they say, gave Brother Fontaine specific words to say to the people. Specific words to say to the people who were on the cusp, maybe, of blowing up out of grief. Brother Fontaine, and the first thing the minister instructed our brother to do is go ask the police, can you use their bullhorn?
Oh, I saw this, yeah.
And they didn't have it, but they did us one better. They were willing to let us beam the message of the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan to our people from the helicopter. Yeah. Logistically, it didn't happen like that. We got a bullhorn. Brother Fontaine pronounced to our grieving people the specific message to them from the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, and it calmed.
Look at all the brothers out there
situation.
standing in between our people, make sure they stay calm.
Succumb to our grief.
Look at all the suits out there.
LAPD did not succumb to their inclination or training in terms of mob control, all because of a word that the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan gave to our people who responded to his word.
And what was that word?
he asked our people to keep the peace in honor of our brother, Nipsey Hussle.
Come on.
Nipsey Hussle was about peace. Peace among the gangs. The minister asked our people who were on the poised some fights, it was feared, was about to break out. He appealed directly to our people there to keep the peace in honor of the legacy of Nipsey Hussle, and everything calm.
Crowd.
Have you noticed how quiet
Is it
it's gotten?
sadness, do you think? Is it?
It's just gotten quiet.
I agree with you. I was noticing the calm and quiet as well.
Yes, it just kind of mellowed right out because, you know, earlier there was a lot going on and
there was no incident. And so there are layers of gratitude in that, which is why I lifted. Of course, gratitude to the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, who I would think we should get from that an indicator of who this man is. No one else could do that, Sister Janine. See, it's Jesus who unifies the people. Blessed are the peacemakers.
Blessed are the what? The peacemakers.
Also, gratitude to Brother Fontaine Muhammad, who carried out the instruction of Big Boss. And gratitude to the LAPD, who did not seek to interfere with the peacemaking, the divine peacemaking that was in operation there. They did not seek to interfere with it, and they did what they could to facilitate it. So we have to. Justice requires us to be grateful to the LAPD, who did not interfere with us doing what God raises us, the Nation of Islam, up to do under the divine guidance of the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan, the Messiah, the peacemaker. And that's what we do among our people when we are left alone to do it. And
that's
that
right.
is why the Southern Poverty Law Center and all of the agents of white supremacy label us all these ugly names, label the Honorable Brother Minister Farrakhan all these ugly names, because they don't want peace among black people. We are peacemakers among black people. They are the peace breakers among us, yes. White people are the peace breakers in the hood. I don't care who pulls the trigger. White people are the peace breakers in the hood, and that's why.
Listen. See, brother, student minister Dr. Wesley Muhammad is on point. We are the peacemakers in the hood. That's why in LA, the LAPD have a certain protocol that they know not to just go in on our people while we are present. They go through the Nation of Islam. Okay? And for those who saying that we was there just because the cameras was out and Nipsey Hussle was a celebrity, well, Mike Brown wasn't a celebrity. Okay? Trayvon Martin wasn't a celebrity. Freddie Gray, Sandra Bland were none of them celebrities, and we were still on deck. Ezel Ford wasn't a celebrity, but we were still on deck. And many other brothers and sisters in the streets who lost their lives weren't on a Nipsey Hussle level, and we were there. Okay, and if it wasn't for Mayor Garcetti calling our student minister Abdul Malik, asking and begging for the Nation of Islam to be on the scene, then that peaceful scene that you seen in this clip would have been all out chaos if it wasn't for the Nation of Islam. So those who say different sound foolish. You black YouTubers, I ask you, come and show us your works in the community. And our work is so powerful in America, it is reaching out abroad. Okay? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has been denied access into the United Kingdom. But guess what? The Nation of Islam is still in the United Kingdom.
May Allah bless us.
These are our brothers in the United Kingdom.
Strength and commitment, and to put down the dumb stuff. Little cheap frills. Are you hearing me? We gotta get beyond little cheap frills, and the mighty soldiers, we gotta rise up and gain our community and wake up our little young brothers who the enemies put tags on most of their foot anyway. Our poor little sisters, beautiful and looking for a man to share their life with. All they can find is a little brother who's on bail somewhere with a tag on his foot.
Pushing.
Is that the future? And if that's not the future, then we've got to rise up and acquaint our young brothers with their mission and force Satan to take the damn tracking device off their foot.
Led by Student Minister Abdul Halim.
We're just trying to go
Hakeem, pardon me.
communities, brother, wherever we are as black people. We got a lot of differences among us as black people. Some created by us and some created by others. And it would be nice if your children, my
This is the Nation of Islam in London, in the UK.
And be welcomed by black men, as opposed to being checked and ending up dead like the little brother in Lewisham.
As long as they there, the minister's there.
Yeah, little brother was on the bus, he was 14.
YouTubers, where's your influence at?
Dead 14.
Abroad.
So we have to do what we can to try and make sure that whatever differences they are, you know, as elders, we go and try and do our best to try. Yeah, but we have to try. Because we're the only ones, if we don't do it, then no one ain't going to do it. As black people, if we don't do it, we can't expect white people to do for us what they're doing for their own children. But we just want to let you know why we're here. So when you see us, that's our purpose for coming. All right, brother? We're here for you, all right? Okay. Okay. But I think, you know, Brits and family is something. Yeah. That's the thing. You ain't going to resolve this problem unless you have an economic program. So after we hear what the leader says in October about the economic program, then we'll be able to bring
Brother, be more go. We gonna deal with Baltimore in a second. Just hang tight, brother. I ain't even got. I'm getting there. Just hang tight.
Do you understand? So once he puts it together, then we got the backing of Allah, His angels, His forces, resources, nature. Everything's with us. Nothing can't stop us after he speaks, and we run with what he gives us.
We just touch the base for now, sir.
So that's the theme, is the power of unity. So we want to try to prepare a way that when you have sons, when you have daughters, they can walk anywhere they want to go in England. And the greatest threat to them won't be another language, but the greatest threat to them would be what happened to young Stephen Lawrence. Where Stephen Lawrence was at a bus stop today, he probably wouldn't mind a group of white boys coming and approaching him. He'll probably be more afraid of some of us walking on the same street as him. That kind of mentality, we want to reverse it and do the best we can. Well, Allah.
Family, we got brothers not only in the United Kingdom doing this work, but we got brothers in Spain in the Nation of Islam. We got brothers in Germany in the Nation of Islam, Paris, France in the Nation of Islam. I had a brother hit me up this morning on my video that I did yesterday, because me and the brothers was in the community yesterday before FOI class, or during FOI class, pushing in the community, getting the word out to the community. And a brother from Holland, out there in Europe, a brother from Holland hit me up this morning and was letting me know that he was going to go out with the brothers in the community. Okay, so and I got another brother, brother MNIB. My name is B from the UK. That's another one of our brothers that be in the chat room. Shout out to that brother as well. He's a rapper from the UK, a beautiful spirit. What else we got right here? Okay, that's the prison ministry. I'll let the brother from the prison ministry speak before we go to the brothers in Baltimore.
This is Brother Philip Muhammad. I'm here with Brother Salam Muhammad. How are you, Brother Salam? Assalamu alaikum to you. Ramadan Mubarak. I am so glad to be a part of this occasion and moment of actually being able to interview you because you have done so much for your nation. Could you please just tell us who you are and what exactly do you do for the Nation of Islam?
Well, my name is Abdul Salam Muhammad. I'm the acting prison reform
Abdul Salam Muhammad.
Muhammad Mosque No. 7. I also act in the capacity of the regional prison reform representative under Abdullah Muhammad in Chicago. And I thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Honorable Minister Farrakhan. I once was incarcerated in the New York State Correctional Facility. I heard the life-giving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1971. But I was one of those, what we call today, jailhouse Muslims. You know, when we in jail, we good Muslims. And when we come home, we go back to the world. Well, I went back to the world, but when I went back to prison in 1981 and came out in 1991, I came all the way home, and I've been in the Nation of Islam since 1981. Now I'm acting as the prison reform representative.
You're stationed at Muhammad Mosque No. 7, which happens to be the New York headquarters of the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been stationed here, and could you tell us a little bit about your duties with regards to your position?
Well, I act as the prison representative, and I head a department of 6 male chaplains, ministers that work for the Department of Corrections in the New York State Department of Corrections. And there's also one sister by the name of Sister Student Representative Linda Muhammad, who's in 7C Mosque. And I head that division as well as the division of East Coast. I also conduct Juma services with the permission of Brother Abdul Hafiz Muhammad, who is the representative of Muhammad Mosque No. 7.
What is so good about the prison ministry? Is it true that people who are in touch with the Nation of Islam, who are locked down in prisons, do not normally go back into prison once they're released? And could you tell us about how that could be when the statistics say that the prison reform system as it is a revolving door? How is the Nation of Islam helping to prevent that door from revolving?
Well, let me just say this straight to the point. The prison reform ministry of the Nation of Islam is solely designed to inspire as well as inform those brothers and sisters, our brothers and sisters, who are incarcerated. And we have a knowledge that helps deals with self-improvement. We have a knowledge that helps them to improve on their moral development, their spiritual development, and we also have a teaching that deals with their economical development in relationship to doing for self.
Okay, Brother Salam, let's go back to the question of the prison reform system of the world or the government versus the prison reform system of the Nation of Islam. And also, keep in mind that we're gonna talk about the revolving door of that system that.
So that's one of our brothers that is in the prison ministry. So those who want to go up against the mighty Nation of Islam, where's your prison ministry? Okay, where's your prison ministry at?
Again, still at North Avenue.
So as you can see, there's a store being looted right here. When you look, you can see brothers in suits all up in here. All in here. They're like a human wall right here. This is in Baltimore during the Freddie Gray situation.
And there was the Nation of Islam saying, don't do this. Don't do this.
You see the brothers with the suit and ties?
I can't hear what they're saying, but you can see from their hand gestures that they are saying, don't do this. Stop it. It's quite, I mean, it's just an unbelievable thing. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this.
Speaking of the Nation of Islam, they have been right on the front lines.
I know they have.
Trying to diffuse and putting themselves between demonstrators and the police lines.
We putting ourselves in the way to bring peace. We putting our own bodies on the line to bring peace. And I remember when I first saw that clip. Hold on one second. I remember when I first saw that clip, and not just that clip, but there was another clip, I believe it was on the news, and you can see the FOI in Baltimore marching in ranks, arriving on the scene like superheroes. And I remember that I was fired up when I saw those brothers going into action the way they was marching in, like that song, The Saints Go Marching In. That's exactly how it looked. Even when the whole Nipsey Hussle situation was going down, you know, and the brothers was marching in on the scene to bring peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. We are taught and trained to do this. Hold on, matter of fact, I got one more video. As a matter of fact, I think I'm in this video. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it and give y'all an illustration of the work that we do.
Absolutely wanted to ask you about the responsibility of those in our community.
Well,
how you address that?
We're raising 10,000 fearless. What is their mission? Their mission is to stand in the gap between the guns. No punk could do that. No coward could walk with us and do that. You got to be fearless to walk in between guns of Bloods and Crips and guns of disciples and others killing each other. We love our people. That's our power. No preacher can go in the community and stop this. Reverend said to me a few weeks ago, Farrakhan, if I send my deacon out there, he's not going to get no results. But if you send your people out there, the young will listen. Why is that, Reverend? Because we love our people. We don't go to our people with guns. We don't carry guns. No follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is allowed to carry as much as a penknife. We are a people of peace, but we will fight with those who fight with us. So we're going into the community. But we want 10,000, but we got to train you, brothers, because you're filled with self-hatred.
Come on.
And we cannot allow you to deal with our people with a heart filled with self-hatred.
No,
but if you come to us, we will train you, we will teach you, so that your heart is filled with love for the people that you're going to serve and the people you're going to protect. And after we train you, we go into that community and make peace between our brothers, set up conflict resolution so that our women and children can play again in the streets and our elderly can walk the streets and feel safe. That's what the 10,000 fearless are for. And I believe there'll be 10,000 rising up in practically every major city who want to help bring peace in our community.
Assalamu alaikum, family. This is your brother Malcolm Flex TV. Now, we just got through going live with the brothers. Now, we out in the field. We on Manchester and Broadway. Can y'all see that?
We're on that east side. Let them know.
Now, I'm out here with the FOI LA, brother Captain Will. Family, we ain't been out here 5 minutes. And we just prevented a possible homicide.
That's right.
Okay, now we on the corner of Manchester and Broadway, and we had some youngsters going north. Right, we greeted the young brothers. Young brothers didn't really want to acknowledge us, and they crossed paths with some other youngsters going south. Right, another young brother named Orange Rag. He told us to call him Brother Ray. Right, so the brothers that was going north banged on the brothers that was going south. So the young brothers that just got banged on was literally about to draw down their pistols and start gunning and shooting in broad daylight.
That's right.
Broad daylight. Captain Will, brother, can you please explain to the subscribers, my viewers, what you seen and what just took place and how it affected you?
Oh man, you know, all praises to Allah. Thank Allah for us being out here. Thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for us being out here in these streets. We're right here on the east side, Manchester and Broadway. We just made our prayer and got out the car. Pushed for about an hour or so before we get back to class. And a couple of young brothers crossed paths with each other, you know. And the beauty of the situation is the young brothers that was ready to go, they were very respectful after we calmed them down and we were able in unity to talk to the brothers and talk some sense into them and let them know that it's not working, you know, because 2 or 3 seconds, 5 seconds can be 25, 35 a lot.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a blessing. Now the other brothers that went on their way, they had a nasty attitude, so that was a test for us.
Right.
Because I kind of really wasn't feeling their little attitude, but what made it so beautiful is how the brothers that had the tool that was ready to blast, how they responded to us with so much respect and love, and that just made everything, even though it was, you know, what it was, it made me feel personally, it made us feel a lot better that we out here. We was out here at the right time with the right word.
That's right. That's right.
All praises due to Allah. So that goes to all the people that are asking, where the FOI in the streets, where the Nation of Islam? Because every time I come out on Mondays in LA, it's always something, and we breaking up fights among our people, and we just prevented a possible homicide. And I had to explain to the young brother that 15, 20 seconds could cost you the rest of your life, brother. So don't even trip on that. As a matter of fact, take one of these Final Call newspapers, young brother, and walk the other way, man. So right now, we just elated that we prevented a possible 187 right here on Manchester and Broadway, family. And I appreciate you for tuning in. This is your brother Malcolm Flex TV. Assalamu alaikum. So, family, I had to cap the show off with that video, you know, of your very own. And we out in the field saving lives. See, don't sit up here and come in my comment section asking me, what is the Nation of Islam doing? What is the FOI doing? Quit asking me dumb questions. As a matter of fact, them people that you subscribe to, all these other black people on YouTube, go in their comment sections and ask them what is they doing for the black and brown community. Go and ask them what they doing. Quit coming in my comment sections asking me why Brother Reza was on the scene at the Nipsey, because he live in LA. That's why. That's why. Quit asking me these dumb questions. You know what I'm saying? Because when we give you the answers, y'all not ready for the answers. So don't come to the Muslims asking us what we doing. Ask Sonetta and them what they doing. Everybody that got something to say against the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, ask them what they doing for the community. Instead of pimping the viewers. Bunch of pay-per-view pimps. Pimping black people. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they doing for entertainment. Go and look at their tags. Many of them on their tags that say entertainment. When you look at mine says education because I'm here to teach. We here to teach in the Nation of Islam. We here to save our people. We here to show you that the work is being done in the Nation of Islam. And that's why I'm going through this with many of the viewers. Some of you don't know, but I'm posting the videos of the work that we doing. And some of y'all are so foolish and ignorant that you still coming in the comment section asking, what is the Nation of Islam doing? Quit asking stupid questions and get involved. Quit looking for Brother Reza, Brother Ben, Minister Farrakhan, and seeing where they at during a disaster, a tragedy in the hood. Quit looking for us and get your butts behind up and do something. Quit waiting for the Nation of Islam to go to work. You lazy bums. A bunch of bums. Want to sit on your behind all day and get paid off of YouTube. Wasting people's time. When it's a lot of work that needs to be done. There is a lot in the black community that needs to be done. We don't need another scholar. We don't need another master teacher. We don't need another investigator. We don't need another host. We don't need no cheerleaders on the sidelines cheerleading. We need saviors. We need liberators. We need workers. Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Willie, we played your videos earlier, dear beloved. I'm not sure when you came in during the live stream, Brother Willie, but we definitely played the videos earlier in the show. So but for those who just tuning in though, I don't mind going back over some of the videos for Brother Willie, cause he's a brother that's been contributing. He's a student minister in New Orleans. Putting in that work in the NO. But I'll play it again because my brother is in the house viewing the video. All praises due to Allah. I believe this is one of them. Yes, sir. I'm familiar with Brother Abel Muhammad.
An anti-violence group calls for men in the community to join the effort at curbing violence. The peacekeepers who formed to work as mediators and high crime spots in the city want people involved in their initiatives.
As Evan Anderson reports, the group has already prevented situations that it says could have turned deadly.
But he was in his back parking lot area, and the guys were driving. Yeah.
Darren McCall, a social worker at this Broad Street Learning Center, was on his way to work one morning when he noticed something wasn't right.
I saw that he was troubled. He was having some trouble or sort of stressing over some things. and I just kind of asked him what was going on, and we got to talking.
He says one of his students felt threatened by two other young men driving by in their car.
He was kind of hanging out here in the corner, and there were some other guys that were passing back and forth, and he kind of thought that they may be trying to harm him in some kind of way, maybe shoot him or do some other things. So he expressed to me the intention to go get a gun or some sort of weapon out of his car so then he could retaliate against them.
Bud McCall quickly intervened. He went and got one of his co-workers, a member of Peacekeepers, for help.
And he came down and talked to him, and then we went and talked to the other guys and kind of brought them together. And I think it was the best sort of resolution at the end of the conversation that we had. The guys that he thought were looking at him weren't even looking at him. They were trying to look at some girls or trying to look at somebody else. So they were looking for somebody else or something.
Since 2009, Peacekeepers has been targeting New Orleans neighborhoods designated as crime hotspots.
All praises due to Allah, student minister of New Orleans.
Services.
I'm happy to say we got 19 chapters now. We're in 19 cities. We have a chapter over in the United Kingdom, over in London, England, in the town of Brixton.
Peacekeepers founder Dennis Muhammad says over 3,000 men are now on the streets trying to mediate violent crime. In 2011, the group started what they call a Squash the Beef hotline, which allows individuals who have a conflict to come to a private meeting and work towards a resolution.
It's a human initiative. Every human being wants peace, and we found it is the most greatest common bond that draws us all together.
Brother Willie, I need one of them T-shirts, brother.
Hopes it helps to prevent more
me one of them T-shirts
in already blood-stained streets.
It's crazy how simple some of these misunderstandings are that can escalate to this violence where people are losing their lives.
Evan Anderson, Fox 8 News.
The anti-violence
So again, to all you cheerleaders, commentators, spectators, and investigators, that if you want to come up against the mighty, mighty Nation of Islam, then you better be prepared to show your works. I'm going to repeat that. You better be prepared to show your works. Because we tired of arguing with you people. We tired of it. You know, we try to have conflict resolution with our brothers and talk about our differences. And they run around making clowns of themselves because they think they're making mockery of the Nation of Islam, but you only hurting yourself. But if you're going to come for the mighty, mighty Nation of Islam, you better bring some receipts of your works. We ain't talking about your bootleg receipts of Malcolm X and every other lying tool that you have to try to deter people away from the Nation of Islam. We ain't talking. We want you to present the works that you're doing on a constant and consistent basis, because the Nation of Islam is working 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay, we ain't talking about a little barbecue block party and feel like we did something. Okay? We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. We can do that. That's nothing. So this is a challenge to black YouTubers and the conscious community. This is my challenge to you, Malcolm Flex TV, and the conscious community, black YouTubers, pro-black people who criticize the Nation of Islam. If you ain't critical of the nation and you appreciate the work that we do, then this challenge isn't for you. We're not talking to you. We are talking to those who are highly critical of the Nation of Islam. This challenge is for you, and the challenge is we want you to show your works and put your works up against the Nation of Islam. And what I showed in the video is a portion of what we do. That's not even everything that we have done and that we are still doing today, right now. That's just some of what we are doing. I'm just highlighting the stuff that don't get, that's not talked about, that's not highlighted and brought to the forefront. So those who are watching and listening, share this video to the critics and naysayers, to these people, because their people are coming to me asking me questions about what is the Nation of Islam doing for black people. So let's remedy this, and let's counteract it with the truth, with positivity. Because your Nation of Islam is popping. Why wouldn't you want to share this type of information with the rest of the world? I'm just saying, people have to see this information. And we got to shut some of these people up. Don't sit up here and tell me about 12 people in Brownsville, okay, but you ain't got your behind up off the couch to go and see about those people in Brownsville. Don't ask where the Nation of Islam at if you ain't actually on the scene your damn self. That don't make no damn sense. I'm talking about cats got over hundreds and thousands of subscribers. But you asking for where the Nation of Islam at. I mean, if you got over 100,000 subscribers, then I mean, damn, don't you got your own nation. So if you got over 100,000 subscribers, then why can't you rally those people to show up to these crime-ridden areas? Just a question. If you got over 100,000 people on YouTube, if you got over 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 subscribers, then what the hell are all of y'all doing with all these people? Where are y'all leading these people? Why isn't y'all ain't even got 1,000 people in the community doing what the Nation of Islam is doing? Why ain't y'all started your own groups and organizations with all these subscribers y'all got? Why haven't y'all started any organization and that's out in the community doing something for black people? And the 1,000 of subscribers that I have, many of these brothers and sisters are in the community working. All these people with wrenches and stuff. Without the wrenches in my chat room is doing the work. So I'm challenging those who have over 30 to 100 and something thousand subscribers to show your works in the community. Not online, not on YouTube. We're not talking about YouTube work, social media work. We talking about being on the blacktop, getting in the paint, getting in the streets, in the gutters, in the projects, in the rundown neighborhoods. in these poverty-ridden communities, I'm challenging you to show your works, because faith without works is dead. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan wants us to stand in between the gangs and the guns. So if you ain't standing in between the gangs and the guns, but you feel like that you have a need to want to speak out against the next individual or group, then you a coward. You a buster. You a straight up buster. If you are afraid to walk the streets of your own community, then you a buster. You a coward. If you are afraid to walk the streets of your own community, you afraid of your own people. That means that you are still suffering from self-hatred. Because you're afraid of your own brothers and sisters. Because if you really and genuinely love your brothers and sisters, you would not be afraid of them. Because love, pure love, casts out fear. Pure love casts out fear. So we walk the streets without fear because we have a genuine and sincere love for our people. We love our people so much that we don't run away from them when we see them. As a matter of fact, we run to them. We don't run away from death. We run to death. And we greet them brothers and sisters. Not with fear in our hearts, but with love in our hearts for our brothers and sisters. Because every time we look at the black man and woman, we looking at God. So, that's it, family. That's it. You know, I just had to do this video. I had to vent. Because I'm tired of seeing these brothers and sisters pimping our brothers and sisters, pimping our people, giving nothing back, not doing nothing for the community, not getting out among the people, not teaching, not trying to raise the dead, not trying to resolve conflicts, not trying to kill the beefs and prevent the bloodshed. And the first thing, and pardon my language, but the first thing a nigga want to do is run to YouTube and say, where y'all at? Why y'all ain't doing nothing? I'm tired of that. First thing cats want to do is cause doubt and suspicion among black people to get them to stop loving the very thing that's bringing them salvation. First thing they want to do, they want to run to YouTube, where the Nation of Islam at, instead of running to the scene. See, that's what the nation do. We run into the scene. And we don't always go to be seen. We don't always go to brag about what we are doing. See? So when you don't hear about it, first thing you want to say, where the nation at, but where you at? Man, I don't get it, man. I don't understand it, man. But this has definitely been an amazing show. I thank you all and I appreciate you all for tuning in and supporting your brother Malcolm Flex TV, man. I hope this video was able to touch you and inspire you to make the change in the lives of in your life and the lives of others. And to remind you all that we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in our community, and we all winning. We all winning. I just want to challenge these other brothers and sisters and inspire them to help. We can't do it without you. Our unity is more powerful than the atomic bomb. We can't do it by ourselves. Don't expect the nation to be able to do it alone. And if you are not going to help and support and put in no type of work, then shut your damn mouth. Shut up. Quit trying to get famous off of other people's lives and other people's deaths. Quit trying to get famous off of other brothers and sisters. Clickbaiting viewers just for views. Lying on other brothers and sisters for monetization. For money. Shut your damn mouth. Quit talking if you ain't gonna get the walking. If you ain't gonna put no work in. The people need to be putting pressure on y'all. Fake ones. The people need to be putting pressure on y'all. Don't run up talking about that y'all can't put pressure on the Nation of Islam that ain't already on us. Period. Period. Matter of fact, I'm going to share the video. Hold up. Let me see something. It's either put up or shut up. It's either put up or shut up. Period. Hold on. Straight like that. But with that being said, dear family, this is your brother, Malcolm Flex TV. I love you. I appreciate you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
I still see shadows in my room. I can't take back the love that I gave you. To the point where I'm loving like you. I cannot change you, so I must replace you. Easy said, love.